As a warm-up for our first review exercise, let's take a look at last week's picture frame background practice, which looks like this in the browser. What I'm going to do is add the top of the picture frame at the top and the bottom of the picture frame at the bottom using multiple background images on the body, because I think it will just help us review a few items around background images. Okay, so this is my current body rule. I've got a background color followed by an image, and it's repeating in the Y direction, that is downwards. I want to add another background image, which is called top.jpg, and I can see that over here in my images folder. As a reminder, for multiple background images, I'll need a comma to separate, and then I can list my next image. So I'm going to make some mistakes here to show us some of the problems you may run into as you experiment with this. This is the top.jpg picture, and I don't want it to repeat, so I'm going to say no repeat. So I have my original one, and then I have the top one, and then with a comma between. Now I'm going to refresh, and trouble occurs. So thing number one. When the browser is parsing through your background rule, it's trying to figure out what you mean. Because this one has a color and this one doesn't have a color, these two lines are not exactly the same as each other. We want to make them as exactly the same as we possibly can. So I'm going to take this background color, which I really only need to list one time, and split it out of this area. Then I'm going to list it separately here. I could also list out the repeats separately, but I find it just visually easier to see the repeat along with the URL, so I'm going to leave them together. And then also note, this is the general background shortcut, and then I'm overriding just one portion of it, the color, afterwards. The color in this area is defaulting to the keyword transparent, and then we override it with this red color. Okay, save and upload, or refresh. And now I get myself back here. Now I'm having a problem though. So my second problem number 2 is that I'm not seeing my top background image. So this may happen to you. This is a good time to remember what the layering order is when you're using multiple background images. So, and I'm going to put a comment right above to help myself remember for the future, or say during the exam if you get nervous and you forget something and something is not working, you can go back to some of your work, your previous work, and look at your comments. My comment here is, when using multiple backgrounds, the one listed first is the frontmost image. So that's what the layering order is. The one in the front is the first one. So that means that my top.jpg picture is there, it understands what it is, but this mid.jpg is layering over it and it's repeating up and down, so there's no way the top.jpg image can ever be seen. Let me flip these two around so that my mid repeating image is the last one. That means this is the backmost image. So this is in the back because it is last. Okay. I think I messed up commas, so let me fix that. Save and refresh. Now I see the top. I'm not going to do any fudging around with the padding right now because I'm going to focus on the background images. So a couple things to note here, just as a quick recap. When you list multiple background images, you should list them with a comma separating. Try to make the format identical each time. So this is URL followed by the repeat. This is the image here again, URL followed by the repeat. The one at the top is the frontmost one. The one at the bottom is the backmost one. And here I've separated out the background color so that I could make these in the same format, each line in the same format. In the next video, we'll see the bottom image layered on top.